Do they know I'm... Do they know I'm black?
No. Should they?
Jordan Peele's Get Out isn't your typical horror film. Instead, this movie uses the horror genre to amplify America's ingrained racism, exploring subjects such as cultural appropriation and the dark legacy of slavery. Since its release in February of 2017, the film has been well received by both audiences and critics alike. With a budget of only $4.5 million, it's grossed over $650 million. The film also maintains a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Peele has stated that the inspiration for Get Out comes from two horror classics, The Stepford Wives and Rosemary's Baby. So, what is it about Get Out that's resonated so well with people? For starters, this film is loaded with symbolism. In the beginning, as our protagonist Chris is on his way to meet his white girlfriend's parents for the first time, they hit a deer. At first, it's not obvious why Chris feels attached to the dying animal. We later realize that it might have something to do with his mother.
1 hour went by, then 2, and 3. And I just sat there. I was just watching TV.
That's right. There's a whole parallel between the deer and Chris, and of course Chris's mother, the suppressed memory of his mother dying after being hit by the car.
Essentially, the deer symbolizes the sacrifice of innocence, alluding at what's to come for our main character.
Now, sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
One of the more obvious symbols is the sunken place. At its most basic level, the sunken place represents Missy's total control over Chris. But more than that, it represents something greater, outside of the film. Peele has tweeted, "We're all in the sunken place. The sunken place means we're marginalized. No matter how hard we scream, the system silences us." These are important aspects of the film, but they're not what makes it the greatest horror of the 21st century. As the audience, we watch this nightmarish story unfold through the eyes of Chris. Still, we don't realize the ramifications of this until the end. When the blue and red lights illuminate Chris's face, our stomachs drop. We know what a black man standing over a bleeding white woman's body insinuates. So this is the moment.
Help me!
Shit!
Between Chris seeing the car and Rod's reveal, Peele effectively translates the African American experience in modern America, if not for a second, for everyone.
You know, I was trying to bring a piece of the conversation I'd never seen put on film before. I felt like there was this void in the way we talk about race. We felt like racism was not being called out sufficiently enough.
The film itself is intended to be like The Flash, a jolt that wakes us up, with the ultimate goal of appropriating the audience with Chris and his perspective. Peele creates a scenario that defies conventional horror tropes and opens the door to new horizons in cinema.